Yours is off. Yours is off.
Green light's on, it's on.
Oh, okay. As for the last meeting's minutes, do I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve?
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, so it's unanimous. So we're here for, excuse me. Okay. We're here for a site address, 333 3rd Avenue, Indialantic, Florida, 32903, further described as lots 3 and 4 of Block 13, Indialantic by the Sea, parcel ID 27-36-36-EO-13-3. The applicant/owner is Dana Brumbaugh Ciccarelli. Okay. And come forward. State your name and your address.
Dana from Ciccarelli, 333 3rd Avenue, Indialantic, Florida, 32903.
Okay. And you have provided us some photographs and a statement as to why you need the variance. I believe it was on the south side. Was it
The east side.
east and south? Okay.
Yeah, east and,
Okay, could you describe to us why you're requesting this?
yeah, if, it's for an unnecessary hardship. We're just finishing everything up to bring my mom and dad lived here for 25 years in the house. So we're bringing my mom back home. And so, she's ambulatory, but she's 90, she'll be 91. And so the existing garage, it doesn't accommodate either one of our vehicles, my husband's truck or my SUV. And so we would like to be able to put a garage right next to the house to be able to park, you know, at least one or both of the vehicles in end to end, but then we're going to have a door that goes into the house from there. We're gonna use the back part of the existing garage to create a hallway so my mom can enter and exit the home safely in times of inclement weather. But as she gets older and maybe needs some other assistance, whether it's a walker or a wheelchair, it'll be easy to get her in and out of the house. The existing garage, we wouldn't be able to do that. It's just the way the garage is, you pull the car in, but the door into the house is in front of the car. There's not enough room, even if our cars fit, to be able to navigate with a walker or a wheelchair into the house.
Anybody have any questions?
Oh, yes, and the owner of the house next door, we've talked to her about it and kind of conferred as to what she thought, and she was fine with, you know, adding a garage there.
Did she give you anything in writing?
I didn't think to ask Regina, but
Okay.
Did we send out all the notifications that we needed to send out?
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody in the area was, I think it's a 200, 300-foot radius, was sent letters. It was advertised in the paper. It's on the website, and it was on both boards.
Okay, thank you, Molly.
No response?
I have no response.
Okay.
there's some additional pictures I put together in this packet if it gives you a better kind of view.
Is that
Pitch-
different than what we
Yes,
have?
yes, it is. It's a little bit more detailed. There's the front of the house, just to show what it looks like. And then if you go to the second page gives you an aerial view of where the garage is. There's an existing concrete pad there because my father had a large shed adjacent to the house. So that's what you see, that white on the side. And then the third picture is really a better view right now from the street. That's where we're looking to put, you all should have it in your packet, and I think it's, but I'm happy to, if you.
Yeah, just, anything you give us, it becomes part of the record.
Yes, you have what
so
I'm
it has
talking
be
to here.
retained. So, yeah, I think we have it, Ariel, but I would like to see, make sure there's not
Yes, sir,
anything missing. Okay, yeah, I believe this is what we already have. Yeah, this is the color version, which would be better for the record anyhow.
You can have, you're welcome to have it.
Thank you. You wanna sit down?
So while I understand that you have large vehicles, it seems, an SUV and a large
Yeah.
truck, and so the existing garage doesn't accommodate?
As soon as you try to pull in, there's a little bit of a, and it pushes the vehicle up, and then it won't clear the upper part of the garage door.
Would you not be able to trade in and buy vehicles that fit the existing garage?
Well, that's a bit of a financial kind of hardship just because of everything that's going on, but it still doesn't alleviate the problem. When you pull in that garage, because of where the existing door is into the house, there's no way, if my mom needed a walker or a wheelchair, there's no way to get, when you put the vehicle in, there's no way to get out of the car and then be able to go.
Ms. Ciccarelli, can you please speak?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's very, there would be no way to get either a wheelchair or a walker to be able to navigate around the car and then around the front of the vehicle because the vehicle is so long. You would have to, my vehicle, you would have to push it right up against the front of the garage in order to get the back end in the whole way and the door down, if you could even get it in from a height standpoint. So if the door was like somewhere else, but it's directly on the wall where you pull the cars into. You know what, am I
Yeah, we
explaining it?
understand,
Okay,
What is the depth of the garage?
19 foot.
Would you say your garage is standard size compared to?
It's a small, my parents only ever had, my mom had a little Ford Escape, and that was the only vehicle they could ever get in the garage. My dad had a truck, but he ended up selling it.
Would you say your garage is standard size compared to neighbors?
I honestly don't know. I haven't been in really any of the other neighbors' garages. Yeah, she closed her garage in some time ago, and she just has a carport there.
Yeah, I saw a picture in here with some French doors. It looked like in a closed garage. Is that what that is?
That's down the
400
street, yeah,
Fourth-
that's where they
Fourth
put
Avenue.
that garage building right on the property, or very close to the property line there. I just used it as a comparison. Yeah, that one, there was a variance, I guess, to within 2 feet of the property line.
Cliff, do you know anything about 400 Fourth Avenue?
I do need to disclose one thing that I'm curious about, is I was driving by a few weeks ago, and the garage door was open, the contract, I believe you were there, and I spoke to you about it.
the form board on
The form board was on the front of the garage, the door was up, and the trim had been cut, and it looked like you were getting ready to pour concrete over the concrete to make that habitable space. If that's the case, that's kind of creating your own hardship. So that's the question that I have.
Okay, so I'm not real, Terry,
we have
I said, you need to come to the,
I'm sorry.
identify yourself.
I don't
And
have a
state your-
recommendation either way, that's what I
Okay.
saw.
Yeah, what we did is we put it, my name is
State your name.
Terry
your address.
Tippin. I live at 6325 US 1 Grant.
Okay, and who, you're the contractor?
Yes.
Okay.
And we had a form board up so we could get measurements and lay it out. We were going to put 2 solid windows and some French doors right there on the front, so it'd be accessible from the outside as well.
So it's about
And we weren't-
enclosing the garage.
Yeah, we
then.
weren't pouring anything until we get a permit. You
Right.
gotta, you know.
Okay, it was
and-
intent. What-
Right,
yeah, we're trying
correct, to
figure
get
out.
measurements and a layout, and visual, because they live in Texas right now. So we eventually will put a circular driveway, paver driveway in there. Try and make it look nice. And we're trying to add the garage because we need to close that in. And again, it's an average garage for a holiday builder house, but it's 19 by 20. And like I said, I can't even pull my truck in. It probably 18 inches would stick out the back. And with the new OnStars on the top of the trucks, there's just not enough there with the, the new Hurricane garage doors have that 6-inch Hurricane bar on there. They don't go all the way up, so that's part of the reason why we're
Do some
doing it.
adjustments for mine to get my FJ in.
It's tight, and then not every house is built exactly the height that they say on the print. So it was
What
tough.
is the
That's
op-
why I had the form board there. I was
Yeah.
double checking everything.
What is the opening on standard's 7 foot?
Right, but when you add your stucco and your banding and everything else, it comes back down. It's not quite 7 foot. So even with a French door, a 6068 French door, the reason that form board was there was even the door has to be cut down 1.5 inches to even fit a regular door in there.
Mr. Chairman, I think the building official can probably clarify too. When the example they gave, he didn't see this picture, was 404th Avenue. That was already an existing structure they just redid recently.
Yeah, they rebuilt it in the
Microphone.
same footprint.
I remember that one.
Microphone.
Yeah.
They rebuilt it in the same footprint and got the variance to do that, built it out of concrete versus the wood. It was eaten up
Seems
with
like I
termites.
remember that, but
It's been a while,
it's been a while, but I don't remember the details.
yeah. But that
So
was
it-
already
But it was already, I believe that it had a rotten roof on it,
it did, it was
and,
in pretty rough shape.
yeah.
But
they
that was
used
all
the
pre-existing
But all
stuff.
pre-existing structure, okay.
Could you clarify for me, please, where the French doors are going and what is the purpose of French doors on a garage extension?
Well, if putting the garage right next to the house, then that room, a section of the back of the garage is going to be the hallway that goes into the house from the garage, the covered hallway. And then the front of it, we're going to just finish out as a room, maybe for, home office, for, because it's a 3-bedroom house. So it's a master bedroom, and then there's 2 small bedrooms, and it's 2 bath. So the rest of that garage will just finish out into a room. So the French doors and the windows, they're all Hurricane windows and doors. It just makes the front of the house look nicer, and it looks nicer, and it brings in some light.
So
to the
this
house.
extension also affords you to add additional square footage
Yes.
living-wise?
Yes,
It's not
some-
exclusively a remedy to the current garage situation?
Well, it does remedy the garage by adding the
I said
garage.
not exclusively, because you're also adding a room.
Well, we're going to make use of that space
Yeah,
and finish
okay.
it out.
So not exclusively a
Yeah, I'm
garage
sorry,
remedy?
yes.
Thank you.
So in looking at the sketched out plans, it looks like it's 18 foot wide, so it's going to be narrower. You're proposing a narrower garage than what you have currently. Yes, yeah,
just take
yeah, I would say.
Yes, because we're going to pull one vehicle in, and then, like, end to end, I'm supposing. But it's going to have an 8-foot door, which is going to accommodate the height of the vehicles.
So what you have sketched here only appears to be about an 18 by 20, 22 foot.
My sketch might not be exactly perfect.
Well, there's a little bit of it does say 21 foot 10.
Okay.
If I'm understanding this correctly. So what you're saying, it's actually going to be much deeper. It's going to go down the entire side, or at least 40 feet down the side, I would imagine.
Yeah, close to that, I believe. There's a window over there that we have to allow for ingress, egress.
2110 is over to there's an egress window.
Yeah, you're going to have to come to the podium.
Karaoke nights. There's a bedroom right behind the garage, and you have to have an egress for that window, for that bedroom.
By code.
So what originally, because we're limited to space there, so we bring it back 2110, that would fit one of the vehicles, and then we would bring it over 36 inches, 40 inches, and then go back so that another vehicle would go end to end.
And to do that, you're also extending the garage past the
It would go
front
back if we
elevation.
can get approved for the garage. I mean, and then those prints would be drawn up, engineered.
Do we have a variance request for that?
No, because we're asking for the garage, right now, at least a one car. And it would have a 12-foot garage door, 8 foot high. Because all your new buildings now, most of them are building them 8 foot because of the, all these new vehicles they went from 18-inch
Well, I
tires to
understand, yeah.
20-inch. Now, like hers are 22. Hers is higher than my truck.
Oh, yes, you are requesting a variance on that, it appears. One more question. Is that a 5 foot? Are you pushing that forward? Let me see if I understand it. By 5 foot? The garage?
Yeah, she's requesting it to go forward 5 foot.
To bring it out kind of or even with the properties to the east, those houses down, the corner house sits sideways. It sits sort of cattywampus on the lot, but the other houses between that corner lot, right behind the post office, and the house at 333, those houses are all pushed slightly forward of 333 and then the other two homes that are to the west of it. So just in looking and trying to figure out how do we accommodate this, I added in that if we could just pull it forward a tiny bit, the 5 feet.
Does the footprint only cover the size of the base, or does that also, is that for where the overhang from the roof will also follow?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that for me, please?
The footprint that is documented on here for the extension of the garage, is that only for the base of the concrete block? So you'll still have, how far is your overhang planned for the roof?
We could make it 16 inches.
So that leaves basically a 1.5 foot overhang to the fence next door, if you're asking for a 3 foot variance?
You can put a gutter and run your downspouts, and it would still be 18 inches clearance from a property line.
We've addressed that once before, but I do not recall, and it seems like it was in this area, where we were actually measuring from the eave. Do you remember, Cliff?
I do not.
Well, I understand, but as far as whether we were measuring from the eave to the property line or the
Oh, I see what you're
base,
saying.
I just don't recall.
I think it was that one on Fourth Avenue.
Yeah, you know what, that is because that overhang goes right to the property line. Because when you saw that form board, I remember you made that comment about when you're gonna run your water, but I would do a shorter eave, because we're gonna have to reconstruct the roof, add trusses on.
Seems like quite an encroachment on the east side property, in my opinion. It's more than a 50% variance request.
Would it help if I texted the next door neighbor owner? She's not feeling well, she has the
No,
flu.
not really, because from my perspective, while she may not have an issue with it, if she sells the property, the variance is there, and who knows what the other person's going to think. So, even on the assumption she doesn't disagree, I still say it's a significant encroachment.
Again, I apologize. You said the garage was going to have a 12-foot door, but the total, because this is going right up to the property line. We've got less than 18 foot from the footprint of the house to the property line. And you've got a structure that's going to have a 12-foot door, and you're going to have a foot on either side, so that's 14. So this is pushing it right to the edge of the property. 14.
3 foot without calculating the overhang. Based on your disclosure of the overhang, it then reduces it to, would you say 18, a foot and a half?
And then you
Right.
put gutter if you're worried about water runoff. I guess back on that one on 400 4th Avenue, theirs just goes off right at the property line.
I don't know anything about that, though. I'm just looking at this.
There's a picture of what Terry's talking about, that other property, I think, in the back of the packet.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, do we have any public comment? Do you wish to make a statement? Oh, no? Okay. Okay, I'm going to close all public comment, and we'll discuss it. Yes, go ahead and sit down. Okay, any thoughts, discussion?
Well, the one thing I'd like to bring up for discussion is when you look to the definition of unnecessary hardship, it needs to be rendered virtually impossible for the said and zoned use. While I understand from my own personal experience, because I have a car that doesn't fit in my own garage, these houses are older built houses, the standard for garage size, many years ago, cars have gotten larger, trucks have gotten higher. But I don't see where that is impossible. You could still have a smaller car and still have use of your garage. So I don't see that the standard of unnecessary hardship has been met, but I open that up to discussion.
No, I would agree with Eileen. I think the unnecessary hardship is kind of, I hate to say the word, but self-made. And that's one thing that's kind of mentioned in the definition of it. Self-made in that you can't have an economic disadvantage. You can't have this based on an economic disadvantage. But if you're doing all this work, changing vehicles would then should not be an economic disadvantage either. It can't be, for a need to gain an economic benefit, and while that's not the ultimate need, that's the end result, is there will be an economic benefit from it. And I think the dimensions are not clear. There's a lot of lacking information in here that make it very difficult to render a complete decision. I think it's really hard for the homeowner next door. I think you already mentioned that. A 3-foot variance and maybe overage or maybe not could cause a lot of issues. It looks like the fence belongs to them, and so replacing the fence could become an issue in the future. I think Eileen, you mentioned about the vehicle being able to fit it in there. I do have a small garage too, and we downsized our vehicle to fit it in there. So it's not impossible to do that. It's not fun, but sometimes you have to make unfortunate decisions to accommodate some things. So for me, it's just, there's a lot of lacking information, detail, and I just don't see the unnecessary hardship.
Okay. Any other further discussion?
Nothing to add.
Do I have a motion?
I would motion to deny.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Sorry, couldn't help you on that.
And for the record, we have 2 variance requests within this
Oh,
one, so
right,
we may
right,
want to
right,
have a
right.
motion for each.
So I would
Call it out.
motion to deny the second one,
First and second.
first and second, first being the east side variance and the second being the front property line variance of 5 feet.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second again.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's unanimous. That's everything. Okay, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.